Hey, welcome back, everyone. Week 5, the last week of the Heroes Hype Tempo Storm series. The action has only continued to escalate with each week. Been really a lot of fun to see. My name is Lawrence. It's been my pleasure to cast along the professor himself, the source. It's been pretty neat, man.
Pretty neat. I got to finally see some Colossus Smash variant. It didn't do anything, but it was cool to see.
I,
It
I believe
tried.
in Colossus Mastery. I believe. I just don't know if that was really the situation or
No,
setup for it.
no,
Um,
I don't think the map was right. I don't necessarily think the comp was perfect. It's also like difficult. The point is you see hero kill hero. Like
right.
the moment you see something, you fully commit and you pretty much take down anything in your path. And if you always get that pick and you're able to pretty much guarantee either that or in response 2 to 3 heroics to save the one target, and then you
Mhm.
walk away scot free. Like it works. It's very, very difficult to do.
As we saw, we are gonna have the map ban started. We'll hear back from our good old fashioned Argy, who we'll be following along with next. I think we might be following Seventh Empire, but I'm not entirely certain. We're hearing back from our good old fashioned. It's gonna be four guys in Legend versus Miasma. Now that is going to be a game. The winner of that will go on to the grand finals. Seventh Empire waits to see who will get the upper hand. It's going to be the new guys, the Scorpion Raccoon. The winner of that match will play Seventh Empire. But we're going to jump over to the other end of the bracket. Four guys in the Legend, we've had a chance to speak with them in previous weeks because they won Heroes Hype Tempo Storm series. And I know they'd love to have another conversation with us. But Miasma Esports would be very pleased to upset the established order on all that. Have you had a chance to see four guys in the Legend lately, Source?
Yeah. Me and Haas cast them during the Open the other day, and they had some good games. They definitely they are formally nice. It's been a long process for them to bring themselves back to kind of where they were when Nice was at its best before they made roster changes, before they changed around those players a bunch. And
Yeah.
it's just been kind of an uphill battle. There hasn't been a great forum for them to be able to really train themselves up other than Heroes Hype and Open. And there's, fairly a lot of, there's a fair amount at stake between both. So I think over time, I think going into Summer Open, they'll be in a pretty good position.
I would be liking to agree with that. For sure. I mean, they have some of the longest standing members in the amateur heroes competitive scene to date, like back since Alpha. So they've seen every permutation of the meta. Nothing's gonna be too much of a surprise to them. But we're hearing also from our good old fashioned argue that might be a little bit of a shakeup on the roster tonight. So it might not be the usual suspects that we see, but we are going into map bans for these two teams now. So four guys in Legend take Tomb of the Spider Queen off the board. Miasma responds by banning out Dragonshire, and it looks like the map is gonna be. Argy's typing. The suspense is killing me. Argy needs to type. Oh, see, Argy just debated me. So I see that he's typing, and then he's like, four guys pick drum roll, and just leaves me out there. See? They just don't. Warhead Junction?
Okay. One does not simply pick Warhead Junction ever,
No, they don't.
unless you got a plan.
Now, I would say the last time I had a chance to cast Warhead Junction was Bamboozled going up against Shot in the Dorm losing bullets. You know some of those characters. It was a wild scene, man. That map invites a bit more chaos than I think a lot of people expect. But when you actively select Warhead Junction, you
I
got
don't remember the last time I've cast Warhead Junction.
you've got a plan. You got an idea because you just don't take somebody to this map like just for giggling. Like it's not a standard map.
Well,
So
so it's not in the way Heroes has been played for a long time, but it's not that crazy of a map. It's not that insane. The problem is just globals and mount, because we have globals and mounts that are on such short cooldowns. It's become a cheesy map because you need to take a lot of globals to make it work. So like, imagine if every global was increased by 60 seconds. Warhead would probably be a highly sought after map because it's big, it's open, there's a lot of things you can do on it. Globals take a sacrifice. Granted, I want pretty much every global to have cooldown increases because right now I think they're too free. But
be that as it may, I mean, I'm inclined to agree. You know, if there weren't globals, if that was a thing,
well, it's just if you couldn't global every 60 seconds,
that's
like
fair.
you can global pretty much every 60 seconds on any character. So there's no punishment for losing, like, there's no punishment for losing a 1v1 to a global character who can then sit there and soak until, or, you know, sit there and get wave pressure and then somebody has to rotate up to meet them. And then there's no punishment for, you know, getting out rotated by the global. The global rotates top, uses their global ability, and, you know, gets something because mounts are so fast. Like the combination of things makes it hard for this to be. It's hard to balance globals on a map like this.
If there weren't globals, I feel like Warhead Junction would be one of the most technically inclined maps because, like, the solo lane would be important. Anytime you rotate, you gotta try to get some kind of value, or else you fall behind and soak. Like, someone gets 1v1.
It'd be like playing any of the other MOBAs
right.
at all. Like it'd be like playing those. Again, why, you know, I don't want Heroes to become either of those games, but, you know, if the globals were less free, you could have that situation where they were a little bit more solo lanes. Like if every global instead of every 60 seconds was every 2 minutes, you know, by the time you hit level 10, you've been able to get off maybe three global rotations instead of, you know, 7.
It's a fair point.
Like it would make a great global player, somebody who knows how to maximize that global potential and hold it as long as possible, or to really get like truly key flanks because they'd be giving up that ability to just head back top again in like 5 seconds.
And yet, we live in an iteration of reality where there are such things as globals, and their cooldowns are what they are. And Inspires an Abathur ban. When your opponent takes Warhead Junction and your first ban, first pick, you're like, okay, you didn't just take this map, you know, you didn't just roll dice and it's like, Warhead Junction. Like, no. I would be wary of the Abathur myself, and I would also look to take the Haka, although I would go for Rubber Ducky the Haka. But the Haka nonetheless.
All right, so you got the Haka, but, you know, now you've opened up the global Pandora's box. So answer back Falstead, answer back, okay, Illidan. So semi-global, not committing to a full global, and willing to play what I assume is going to be Judgment Hunt and just pick somebody out of nowhere before the Haka can show up to help.
If we see Judgment Hunt, man, prepare to hear me chuckle quite a bit. Because, I mean, like, I call the hunt, like...
They've shown it's the Haka, so you know that it takes 2.5 seconds for the Haka to get there, and he has to get there in a bush. So if you see the whole enemy team and you're ready to fight, and you show up first, and you just hunt Judgment something, like,
dude,
whole team is spread, that target is probably going to die, and the Haka shows up, so he's left the lane, the team can't cut their losses and run away because the Haka's now shown up. He's no longer free soaking. Like, it's a great answer back into Haka. Just rip something apart. Make the fact that he's global soaking a punishment. It's like, are you going to show up to help, or are you going to stay there and maybe we're going to wipe your team?
I want to see the Legion of Doom both hit the turnbuckle and just jump off the top rope with the Judgment and Hunt. Okay, so Lily gets banned out. I like Uther as a response to the potential threat of the Hunt and Judgment. You take the Guardian of the Ancient Kings, or whatever it's called, at level 7, where whoever gets stunned gets 75 armor. You try to jump on somebody, they're a tank for the moment. Foiled again. You give someone a timeout, you hit them with the cocoon, they're stuck waiting to come out of that. It's a pretty sound response, but Brightwing Tracer took no time to get selected.
Okay, so Right Wing is their answer global. They've got just go Judgment Hunt. Go Judgment Hunt and let Tracer pick things off. Like things will just die. Like just hunt the Uther, Judgment the target. Like you can even split them up, or Judgment the Uther, hunt the target. It doesn't matter, and you will just destroy things. I don't know what you picked for the last pick to actually give that composition some more punch in terms of damage. I don't necessarily think you need another warrior, but something with some burst.
You got Tracer. I feel like you need a solo laner with this comp. For 4 guys in the legend. I mean, yeah, Illidan can do the job for sure. Brightwing can do it as well. You got some options, but Tyrael and Tracer aren't really gonna do it for you. Cassia gets selected. Li Ming's gonna round it out. So if someone gets caught, they get dragged. They're gonna be sitting there for a while. Brightwing's cleanse game is gonna have to be pretty serious.
But like Judgment Hunt Li Ming, goodbye.
Yeah, I mean Uther's gonna have to go for
Judgment
that
Hunt
Guardian.
Cassia, goodbye.
You've offered the Legion of Doom some juicy targets for sure, and you throw a pulse bomb on top of that. This 5th pick could almost be irrelevant if that's. I mean, you could take Gazlo or Asmodee. I said they need a solo laner. Okay. That's the response. That's the.
Wait. I guess it's Warhead, so it's Warhead. Do what you want. Asmo to your heart's content. I won't hate the Asmo under the circumstances, especially because they picked the map. So clearly, this is their plan is to let Asmo soak waves. Once they get later into the game, just have the Tyrael Illidan gank squad just hunt things down. Like Tyrael Illidan Tracer hunt things down, and Brightwing shows up to make sure they don't die, and they just kill something. Like 2-3 seconds on a Li Ming, goodbye.
I think we might see some pretty significant instances like that. 4 guys in a legend, they chose this life by taking us to Warhead Junction. And it really put Miasma Esports in an interesting spot, because it's like, all right, what kind of cheese are we dealing with? And apologies to the audience, because if you're lactose intolerant, I don't know. Because I think we're going to see some Swiss, some Limburger, some Gouda. Because the Asmodee pick just takes this to a whole different place.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. I hope it's Judgment Hunt. I think that would just be glorious.
My heart would break if it's anything other, but we're gonna find out.
I mean,
soon
you
enough.
could go Sanctification, but again, that's not a great team to go Sank into. I don't strictly think you need to.
We'll see. Over on the left, we have the members of 4 guys and legends who wanted this life. L-Aim's gonna be on Brightwing, Kawaii Rice is on Tyrael, Jin's playing the Asmodee, Dakinjar's on Tracer, and LZ Gamer is on Illidan.
And over on the other side, we have the members of Miasma Esports. It's going to be Lex Luthor on the Haka, Necromongers on the Li Ming, Vestige on the Unibrite, Zero Max on the Uther, and D Steves on the Cassia. And I'm looking at level 1 talents, and it's Master Destruction. So it's not Globe Modan, it's Laser Asmodan. He's just going to sit there and laser things.
He's going to be playing PvE anytime Lex Luthor is going to be out of this lane. With a huge map like this and no real rotations just yet, it does become something of an early siege rush, because if you spend time jockeying up to another lane the hard way to respond, not only have you already lost structures, but then you're missing out on soak and siege damage yourself. So the Asmodee might tip this in the favor of the legends. It's like, all right, if you want to sit there and race this, and I already taken Laser Dan, I'm fine with that.
I mean, they're already winning by a lot. They've got the speed to be able to push while clearing the wave. LZ just got wrecked on his evasion. Granted, they're going to get the 4. They lost 2!
Now, that
LZ
is...
done goofed. LZ done goofed.
Jin's gonna go ahead and hit his B step, and I don't blame him. Why not? I mean, he's gonna walk away. It's like, all right, you took down 2. Now, Source. I want somebody to commit to me like 4 guys in Legends just committed to that top 4. You sit there and watch Dahaka casually take down 2 people, and you just stand there. Go ahead and kill us. We just want this top 4. Who does that?
I don't know, man. Clearly, you've been with some people with some commitment issues. That's how you treat a fort.
Like you read about, they are committed. Level 4 is going to be picked up, but the experience advantage, well, ironically enough, slant in the favor of Miasma Esports. Even if, I mean, it's a 1 fort trade apiece. 2 warheads do show up. Lex Luthor is going to hang out in the bush, finds Tyrael, gets the drag. The Burrow's going to follow up in a nice orb from downtown. Surprises Kawhi Rice, has a shield, he's able to get out of there. But that's a brow-raising moment for sure.
So they seem willing to give up both nukes in favor of letting Asmodan do his thing. Well, actually, no, they're doing a really good job of stalling. You know, Necromongers needs to be seriously careful.
He does get healed up by Uther, Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor. Nubrak kind of is going to be able to zone out long enough for Necromongers to come away with the second warhead of the game and some siege pressure to consider. LZ Gamer is Illidan, so he's going to go over and start these camps sooner rather than later. It's Blackheart's bet, if you ask LZ Gamer. But Lex Luthor is going to catch Token in the top lane. Warheads get dropped.
So they're going to lose Wall for this. Wall and secondary tower. So it's not a massive amount of experience. It'll put them up about a quarter of a level. And again, they seem willing to give that up in favor of what their composition will do at the end of the day.
Interestingly enough, Brightwing is going to teleport up to join Asmodan for this
Cancel.
push. Oh, thought better of it. Hung out, was like, oh, well, we see Doc starting to back away, and level 7 is picked up, tier disadvantage. A stalling gesture for certain. Now keep in mind, Source, 4 guys in a Legend chose this map, and I get the points of their composition. I just don't know if it's been executed just yet.
No, I don't think so. And I mean, if they get this takedown onto Lex, maybe they start to find what they're looking for. I think they'll get it pretty much for free. And so, got him with the drag. Now they need to take this camp. They need to get this additional camp. Those double camps will give them pressure up onto the top. They're not that far behind in experience. They can deal with the fact that they lost the fort. It's going to be 4v4 up here on the point for this mercenary camp. They should get this. I don't think anybody's silly enough to walk in there. Oh my, they all walk in there.
And yet, you see the cleanse going on. LZ Gamer starts to back away, and the forward-leaning position is going to be enough. But the drag says, Brightwing, before you go, we have one more bit of business to discuss. It's going to be our 3rd takedown, if you don't mind.
Okay. I didn't think that they would be willing to commit hard enough to that, but they do. So they'll actually get their camp away, get a takedown for it in the end. This seems to be the buy of their time till 10. Buy their time till they are allowed to just full engage onto their opponents. And that first hunt judgment, as I still anticipate that it's going to be, has got to kill the target.
It's effectively a non-negotiable at this point. Interestingly enough, at level 7, Hand of Protection, Uther's version of Cleanse, is going to get picked up. I thought we'd see the increased armor, because it's like, alright, second someone gets stunned by Hunt or Judgment, it's like, alright, if I press Q or W on them, they're taking only 25% of the follow-up damage. But I mean, I guess Cleanse will negate the initial stun itself, but then you're eating the full damage. I think that's the general dilemma of that talent for Uther, but 4 warheads to be picked up.
Alright, so Kawhi Rice to stall them out on the Tyrael a little bit. They're going to go for the double bottom. Interesting that, did Dahaka get that? So Dahaka actually got the warhead before rotating bottom, so Brightwing will show up now. They will be able to get 1 takedown, and I think this fight actually goes pretty well for 4 guys in a Legend, as long as they don't lose anybody.
And they just might. Tracer low on health, trying to get the heal from Brightwing. I don't have any burst healing. I don't have burst, I don't have tele... So you might want to back away. LZ Gamer continuing to press the issue. Kawhi Rice jumps in, gets taken down, though. Li Ming is going to get taken down. Can the bomb get anything else going for 4 guys in Legend? And there's Illidan off the top rope. Uther says goodbye.
All right, so there are 3 warheads. They're not done yet.
Big body Jen over here with the body block say, you're actually going to have to take the scenic route to get back to that fort if you don't mind. Buys his team enough time to get the 4th takedown and a sizable advantage in this little progression. Lex Luthor is back. These Thieves is also back. Tracer healed up. Meanwhile, LG Gamers is gonna... No.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I wanted to see Judgment, dude. I just wanted to see that off the top rope Legion of Doom, but we got the hunt. 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
Yeah, and also Demonic Invasion did enough damage to help secure the takedown. It also put enough minions in there to body block people from getting away, so that was interesting. They've got 2 nukes in hand. The question is are they really going to commit to what looks like the top keep, or are they going to take their time and nuke mid? They're going to get the boss and walk it in with a couple of nukes. Okay.
That's definitely something to worry about if you're on the side of Miasma Esports. They look around the mini-map. They don't see anybody showing up on enemy team, so it's all right. Well, time to trade out these bosses. This is a situation I personally feel is in favor of 4 guys in Legend. You got 2 nukes. You have Asmodan. You have Legion. I don't even know what that heroic's called.
Demonic Invasion.
Demonic Invasion. A lot of siege pressure to consider. They get that boss to hit the B key right away. They're ready to defend their top key.
So boss is traded, and now they're gonna back up to defend. If I were LZ Gamer, I would drop that nuke soon. Yeah, he's gonna do it now. Oh, it gets canceled.
Vestas goes in with the burrow, gets the interrupt. That's gonna be a long 8 seconds before you get to press that F key once again. Right wing teleports in, gets the vision, sees everybody on the map. 1 nuke goes down. Kawaii Rice helps the top tower get taken down. Nuke gets dropped. Lex Luthor, Zero Max trying to clean up this boss. Good amount of damage put on this keep, but I do believe that Miasma Esports will prevent catapults from spawning in the top lane for now.
Yeah, they could easily send somebody. Oof. Wait, minions! They gotta stop the minions! They'd rather kill Asmodan.
They get to take down an Asmodan, but it costs them a keep for their trouble. Level 13 does come around. Yeah, it was like, alright, we can't sit around here and let Asmodan just continue to free throw from the bush, so we gotta go take him down, but you gotta remember the minions are a thing. Top keep.
So now mercenary camps will get finished out. Waves will be cleared. Asmo's back up because we're only 9 minutes into a game on Warhead Junction, and because it's Warhead Junction.
Well,
I say more.
You don't, sirs. You really don't. We got 2 warheads to show up. Both of these teams do have level 13. With the catapults in the top lane and Asmodan, 4 guys in the Legend definitely have a win condition if they get the upper hand in a considerable fashion yet again. Warhead shows up. Vest is going to be the target. LZ Gamer getting some harass damage. Burrows in. The Sanctification goes down. And then off the top rope, Illidan gets onto the back line. 2 heroes down and 4 guys in Legend. LZ Gamer's like, it's just a prank, guys. I need to get out of here. 3 heroes down and 4 guys in Legend. Kawaii Rice gets blocked in by Cassie of all people. And it swings back the other way. Only Tyrael lives. Uh-oh.
Yep, and don't know whether or not that Cassie is going to find him. No, she found him. She got him. Oh, did she? Nope. Slippery one, that Tyrael. But now they're going to lose probably bottom keep, double nukes pressure top. No boss to worry about for a little while, but, I mean, you rotate enough people in, you should be able to answer back and keep. There is this wave down in the bottom, so they're not going to have any minions with them to help set that up. So a reprieve for 4 guys in the Legend off of a slightly mistimed fight.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, what have 4 guys in the Legend really lost? They win that team fight. Both teams were level 13, albeit they had a slight experience lead. They lose 4 heroes. They don't lose any structures. No nukes get dropped. It would appear as though, and I'm no ace detective, but the early advantage they had as far as siege goes have basically allowed them to just take that as a neutralizing gesture. And I mean, that's good for Miasma Esports. It's now a more even game, but you get 4 takedowns 11 minutes in. You want a bit more than that.
Yeah. Also, interesting the Quiet Rice would position so high up. They don't even need to be anywhere near top. Like, top is irrelevant at this point. Maybe they're looking to get a pressure wave in there so that somebody has to back up and deal with it, and they can get that opportunity to find a takedown. Maybe they're looking to find the Dahaka, who they assume is going to be there. Maybe they're just going to be LZ Gamer with Illidan Factor at level 15. It's not amazing, but does seem to be drawing their opponents around the map, but Jin has been found.
It feels very drunken boxing. You show on the core and start to back away. Jin's like, guys, this did not pay off at all. The big body Jin gets taken down. Body blocks himself, no less. But then the Brightwing goes in. The polymorph. Li Ming gets taken down. Have we been ruse source? Has this all been just a clever hoax to take a run at this core? Could they come away with this?
I don't think they win this.
Yeah.
Well, there's the sanctification. It stalls out slightly. LC Gamer's alive. Holy Ground to help do some good, but the fact that they got that tongue, and they also got the isolation on Serial. That was huge. They can't win because Asmodan is back up and he'll clear out bottom, so it's fine. But another attempt, swing and a miss. Both bosses are coming back up though.
I have perhaps the most smug face I may have ever sported while casting. I like the idea of it, you know. It's like, all right, we sacrifice our Asmodan, we show top, you know, our wave isn't really here yet, we start to back away. And then Brightwing shows up, you take a run at the core, but I don't think the game was that far forward to where you didn't have any warheads. Like, if you had warheads, and you can immediately melt down a shield, maybe. But to play that hand that early,
so they're gonna be defending boss into 2, maybe 3 warheads, which means they need to take the top ones and either all in and bottom before the boss gets there, or all in and top before the boss. They're gonna do it. They're gonna totally do it. They're positioned so far up. They were looking for the stall. They're going to try and end. They're gonna send 2 nukes in, Illidan Factor. Hope it's enough. Brightwing will stay behind to just see if anybody's there. And they realized it. They knew they were going to try something crazy.
Yeah, like I said, they showed their hand too early. They tried this gag last time without warheads. So it's like, you're not fooling us again with this. They get the bottom boss and immediately hearth back. And then 4 guys on the ledge look around and they're like, oh, wait, the jig is up, guys. They've divided by 5 and solved for X. We should probably try to save our bottom keep, but it's not going to happen.
I'd honestly leave the keep now because they're going to go for top boss. And you need to get there and kill them before that happens. And that's not going to happen. Like, mathematically, that ain't going to happen. Like, they had to leave right when I was saying I think they should leave. Now, maybe they kill them all. There's a fort there. They can afford to actually let that go and not worry about it. Yeah, they've realized they're not going to stop it and they're just going to defend it on keep. Not a bad idea.
I agree. I mean, you've kind of out macroed yourself like that DJ Khaled. Like, congratulations, you played yourself. Like,
well, I mean, you weren't going to save the bottom. Like, you weren't going to save it. You needed to clear the boss, sure, but you were not going to save the keep. So why send 5 people? Why show everybody there?
Because your trick didn't play out for you twice now, and you're trying to figure out what you need to do next. But meanwhile, your opponent's making macro decisions that are sound mind and body, and you're getting takedowns on big body Jin. He's going to try to get out of there. The isolation sets up the takedown, and you're trying to figure out what you need to do next. Down a hero, and about to be down level 20.
Alright, Illidan just showed he's going for solo core, and they've already sent the Haka back because they saw Illidan show. Oh, Tyrael lived. Nice. Okay. I thought he was dead.
I mean, the threat of
this is how you play it, though. Like, you pull your opponents back. You don't let them commit to their play by threatening them around the map.
I agree. I mean, now that you've shown it this early, you've trained your opponent to be ready for it. So anytime they try to venture too far, the cleanse was perfectly timed, though. Vex is going to keep backing away. The polymorph goes in on a new Brack. He can burrow at a moment's notice. Not sure he's the prime target. Zero Max goes in, gives the stiff arm to Illidan. The orb goes in. Brightwing gets absolutely demolished. Goodbye.
Tracer might make it out of there. So they don't hand over a nuke, but 2 more have popped up. Tyrael was in a sweet little web wrap and got completely obliterated. Illidan is, again, LZ Gamer. He's just looking for the opportunity to win the game, and Dockinger then you don't outrace them. You just got seen on eye. You have to defend, and there's all these nukes on the ground.
I'm not sure how 4 guys in Legend endure all this. The nukes go down on both sides. The hunt goes in. Divine's shield's gonna keep Cassie alive for the moment. Tracer gets rocked. No support. Core down to 30%. Falling down. I do believe the old Limburger turns back against itself. Miasma Esports advanced to the finals.
Yeah, you were right. They played their hand too early. If they waited and done it with nukes, might have happened.
I'm telling you, man, the way that orb hit the back of Brightwing's face, you know it says Voight. Just that dodgeball hit home on Brightwing. And from the perspective, you just see it, like it just came in off screen for me. I didn't even see Li Ming positioned there, and I know Brightwing's eyes jumped out of her skull. It was just like, oh wait, that orb came in 3D.
The dodgeball hit so hard, took him back to 5th grade gym class.
Yeah, Brightwing's gonna need a doctor's note for that one. I mean, that was the exclamation point that really sealed the deal of that game. Because I was like, all right, you don't have your support for this long. And it's not like you had a lot of burst healing anyway against the Li Ming, who just enjoyed the cooldown reset by walking on your head. I don't know, like, I get the idea of that comp. It's like, all right, you surprised.
It would have worked, except they pulled the combo too early before Illidan hit Illidan factor, which is, level 18, where he does enough damage to be able to sustain himself through.
I get it, man. You're eager to try out this new comp. You see some craziness go on in Open Division last night. You see UTA get eliminated by Cho'Gall.
You think anything is possible.
Right. It's just like, it's a new world. It is a whole new world out here. So here's what we're going to do, guys. It worked in Quick Match. We take this comp on Warhead Junction. We die on the fort to get the top fort. We get the top keep later on. And when the mood strikes, when the wind blows just right, you check the barometer. All the conditions feel good. Let's just have Brightwing teleport from the other side of the map. We just show up. We got Illidan. We jump on the core. But then disaster strikes, Source. It's only 13 minutes into the game and you don't have any nukes. And then you just caught out there like, oh, well, we've just demonstrated.
Everything changed with the Li Ming attack.
And as someone who's just recently seen the Avatar series,
put Li Ming in her red Chinese New Year outfit, everything changed with Li Ming attacked.
That is so succinct. Either way, Miasma Esports shows some dexterity and versatility. They respond to the interesting composition. They were kind of getting yo-yoed around a little bit. Like we were talking about, the upside of showing it that early is like, all right, well, now we're ready for it. But then every time you try to venture to the other part of the map, it's like, we got to watch out because we don't see where Illidan is on the map. Brightwing could show up. Suddenly they're on our core. There's catapults to worry about. This could be bad. I get that. But